Yep. Time for some annual maintenance here. And we're going to do a fluid change here. They're pretty serious about it. Stickers are on the pump. Change fluid annually. Page 98 in the manual. You want to follow these instructions here. You want to change the fluid after the season in the spring, so the pump sits with new fluid in it, because I guess what happens is moisture on those rams does make it through the seals and it contaminates the fluid during normal use. Probably some atmospheric moisture contamination as well. And if you let the plow pump sit in the off season for the summer with that contaminated fluid from normal use, it will create condensation on the inside of the pump cap here. And you can see where I chipped the powder coating and it started to rust some there already, but on the interior the moisture will condense out of the fluid, create droplets on the interior of the cap, which then when you use the pump the next season and that fluid swirls around, it washes those water droplets off, which are also created rust water droplets, which then mix with the fluid and create like a emulsified, combination of the three. And the screen in there is incredibly fine mesh. The micron or whatever that screen is, it's super fine, and that creates like a film or a wax on that screen. And my friend's screen actually collapsed like a Budweiser can from the pressure of this pump because it got a little bit clogged up. So this is important, and just bear with me. So I'm gonna go over like this is the XV2 setup here. This is an 8'6" XV2, and what you have to do is disconnect the hoses, as you can see here. Well, the first thing you want to do, okay, we'll go over this right. The first thing you want to do is, like here, so you can see it right there. That's the drain. And the first thing you want to do is remove the fill cap, because that drain is under a lot of pressure. When it says to crack the vent on the top, well, I thought it'd be all right. It blasted fluid all through my grill there. It was under so much pressure. So follow the instructions. Drain that. I've got a drain pan under here. It made quite a mess. And once that's done, you replace that cap. All these instructions are in the book. You want to follow them. And then you want to remove your angle ram hoses from the the fittings on the unit, and that's where I'm at now. I've done one and I saved the other one to show you. So once you've removed the hoses, it's gonna make a wicked mess. You want to make sure they're angled down into your catch reservoir. See, they're drooling now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna manually collapse this just like that. Shot fluid everywhere. See, it moves really easily, or it should if you haven't bent anything. That's one hand, and that's pushing the fluid out of that piston. Just like that, and it says to actually move it back and forth, and don't worry about it being airbound. There's a lot of fluid coming out of there. So that's fully angled, full retracted, and you can hear it gurgling in the piston there. Oh, and to do this, you need to block up the frame there. See, I have blocking in there. That's what they call for. Get the blade a couple inches off the ground so it's free floating. You gotta collapse your lift ram all the way. The idea being collapse your rams and get all your fluid out of your cylinders. All right, so I've done that, and now I'm just gonna reconnect these fittings. These fittings are 3/4 inch wrench, and I have some of them marked here from last season, so I don't get mixed up. It'd probably be a good idea to take a picture of them, but it's not that complicated, but you never know. It's like getting on a boat and the steering rams have been reversed. That's tricky, getting away from the dock or getting back to the dock like that. So anyways, so yeah, just gonna hook the hoses back up. I'm gonna refill the system with my Fisher fluid, and I'll just check the book here and see what it says. Fill the reservoir. Okay, note on Extreme V XV2, add fluid only when all rams are retracted. So I'm gonna collapse this one because they won't collapse once you hook the hoses back up. The system will be sealed again and pressurized. All right, so everything's collapsed. I put some additional chafing gear on there because of that cross member. And I advise you guys to look at your hoses because some of mine are getting notched here. And I actually had spare hoses made up. So if I blow a hose in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can, it's a simple plug and play. I can swap it out and keep going instead of being hung out to dry for $50, $50 for 2 hoses. I think it was like maybe $60 for both of them. So that and spare bulbs for your lights, whatever you can think of. I like to have backup. You almost have to have, I had to replace the solenoid in this, the main, I don't know if it's the lift solenoid, the main powering solenoid for the pump. Some of these guys are replacing it annually, I guess. My pump was sticking on for like 30-45 seconds at a time, even if you shut the truck off. That was pretty scary. Stuck on, fully locked up with all the valves closed, and it was fully jamming the pump. I thought I was going to burn the pump out. And it turned out to be a known, it didn't say it in the manual, but I guess it's kind of a known thing with people who are operating these things is the main solenoid in here. I don't really want to dig in here, but I will. Don't be afraid of this. You should be afraid of it, but you need to learn about it some. A lot of these connections are very loose. I've covered them all in dielectric grease. These are your valve cartridges here. That main solenoid, where was that? It must have been on the back of the unit. There's another cover just like this on the back, but look at that. That wire right there. Look at that. Pinched by the cover. It doesn't look like it's through the casing, but it is damn close. See, little things like that. That's too bad. Yep, tuck it right out of the way like that. It's not through the casing, but I'm gonna have to get some liquid tape on that for sure. That's why they call it maintenance. Alright guys, do your maintenance, seriously. It'll save you a big headache and a lot of money from taking it to the dealer. Because these things have got a lot of little things that want to give you hiccups, I can tell you that. It's a good, we had a lot of snow here in New England, in down East Maine here. We had record snowfall last year, and this thing did prove its value then. I was able to roll snowbanks up higher than a regular blade by far. So, do your maintenance. I'm going to get this done before it rains. Get this thing put away. I got ballast here to get out of the back. A bunch of sand I threw in because we just had a 10-inch storm right at the end of March there. 10-inch wet, heavy snow. I didn't expect, so I didn't have the sander in any longer, but... Alright, good luck.